So then we have got fullbacks. It's been a while, let's get into them. There is a lot to go with. Now, when it comes to gold cards, other than maybe Hernandez, because obviously the price of him is just crazy in itself. Now, he was available in an Evo. That Evo has now gone. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. So we will see the price start to dip again. He reached some massive prices. To say that he was all the way down at what, 180 give or take on cross-platform. The fact that now, well, he went up to 450, 460 on the heights. Now crashing at 390. He's going to go back down to his kind of just over 100k. That's just incredible in itself. It shows the power of an Evo. But when we look at the likes of Hernandez and Walker, some of the upgrades that they can get are brilliant as well. So in general, we've obviously got a lot of top-end gold cards that can be put into Evos and made into that 89, 90 single playstyle plus at the moment, more than likely double very, very soon. The fact that Team of the Years have got the triple, I imagine the double is pretty much on the horizon. Maybe after Future Stars, I can imagine. So I would say that if you've got a Hernandez, for instance, because he has absolutely nothing else going for him at the moment. Like literally, we are back to square one with him. There is just 89 upgrades for him, and that's it. Like naturally, there's more than just these that you could have put him in. There's a lot of different Evos over the course of the past 4 or 5 months that you could have got him up to an 89, maybe even a 90 at some point. But I imagine 89 at the minimum. In general, that's going to be fantastic, and it will give him the finesse shot playstyle plus, or you've got multiple others. You could have put a jockey and anticipate a slide tackle. There's been absolutely loads that could have gone on him. So naturally, keep going with him, because if you do get a double, there is no better other card, especially for Hernandez. When we do look at Walker, naturally, he was going to get another card at some point. This is the final city card that we're going to get from him as well. So the price is going to probably stay up there for a little bit. And then once we get a brand new one for the AC Milan Walker, it will be an interesting one, but it takes him away from the Prem. Another good link with someone like Tomori, getting the English and Serie A vibe, and also Milan as such. It's going to be an interesting concept with him, with where he goes from now. He's still going to be a fantastic footies, and if you did want to, the 84 has still got the ability to be up there with some of the evolutions as well. I would say straight off the bat, the 91 is outrageously good as well. The only thing I don't like from him is the quick step plus. It's good, like it's a brilliant card. No one's moaning if they've got the card, but a quick step is not necessarily my perfect playstyle plus for him. I would say still at this point, if you've used Hernandez, he's still incredible. Like any version of him is still unbelievable. Like granted, the price is inflated, like I said, because of the Evo. But I do think when you look at these versions, maybe you could argue that the 87 is now being caught up a little bit. I would still argue that he's definitely up in the meta, but I would be conceiving to say that you'd be looking at something like that now. We could use other left backs, because realistically, when you go all the way down, when we look at all of the Team of the Years now, they are incredible. Now, if you've used any of the Team of the Years from this point, someone like, for instance, Reece James, Lauren James, if you've used her, for instance, you think 1.3 mil, she's a solid right wing. Obviously, the playstyle pluses are not necessarily as incredible as you'd want. Like, if you compare it to Hansen, if you compare it to, like, an Mbappe's playstyle plus, you'd think you'd want better. Trickster's okay. It's good if you've got a decent couple of playstyles with it. Technical's not my personal favourite, but it works still. A Press Proven is just a throwaway one. Whereas actually, she's incredible. The dribbling, the ability, the stats are amazing. And that is the exact same for the 4 left back and right backs. They are outrageously good regardless. Now, the cheapest outfield player for Team of the Year is going to go, I believe, to Lucy Bronze. Now, we will double check that because she is coming in at 774,000. We got Kachawi, or I call her Sakina, in at 970. When we look at the men's, you've got Carvajal coming in just over $1 million and 900 for Grimaldo. Now, the fullbacks tend to be normally some of the cheapest, like they naturally do, but you've still got the 12, 9, 3.7. Everybody's at, I'd say, a reasonable price. I mean, they're still expensive. We've got 2 mil for Return, 4.9, 1.3, 1.5, 5.40 in fact. So Paredes is actually the cheapest we've got, other than the keepers, which are always going to be cheaper. So I do think when you look at all of these Team of the Years, they are the best in their positions 100%. We have got a lot of kind of heroes that now need upgrades, or at least an Evo. I'd say when we look at some of these heroes in general, we look at obviously Capdevia, John Arnarise, they need upgrades for them. I would say Di Lorenzo, probably a miss at this point. Delo, I think you could get away with an Evo, but I'm going to go with a miss at this point. I think these two specifically, Di Lorenzo always seems to get another card. Delo maybe not as much. I think he kind of just stops. So potentially Evo is the only way for him, to be fair. If we look at his generation, he's not really blessed with a lot of upgrades. Like, he's had this is crazy. He's only had 4 special cards. Well, I mean, I suppose the World Cup is a special card. Whereas when we look at Di Lorenzo, he always gets something. He's just naturally very good at getting cards. Obviously, the Team of the Seasons he's managed to get for the few years. He got, I want to say, is that a birthday, I want to say? But even so, he always manages to get something. So I imagine he will get something extra as well. Delo's definitely not getting a Team of the Season. Let's be real here. He's been okay at best, very, very much okay, and that is about it. We look at McCabe, she's going to go down. Nuno Tavares, I'd probably miss out as well. I think Robertson, could he get another upgrade? I think he could, but I don't see it at this point. Like, realistically, he's had a sensational run. Like, obviously the footies. Could it be just the footies at this point? Team of the Season? I don't think so. I don't think he's in the running there. He had an incredible season there, and obviously before that was his Team of the Year. So I think maybe an Evo for him, because if we're waiting till footies, you're waiting a long time. If you're building a Liverpool past and present as well, or just even a present, he's going to be one on your list, let's be real here. We would sell Alphonso Davies. Now, he's not had another card since that, has he? No, he has had just the Track Star. Another one that is blessed with plenty of upgrades. He obviously can go into some of these Evos as well, but he's had multiple for years. Like, he's always been a fan favourite. He's very, very quick on the ball, and naturally we need more upgrades to get that defensive part of him really up there, because we've got, obviously, the dribbling, we've got the pace, and the defending just needs that big upgrade. Now, it's a massive upgrade from his 82, but we need something more. I'd say at this point he's still usable, but I would say he needs the upgrade very, very soon. Rosalian, I'd miss out on now. Robinson, I'd miss out on. O'Hara, other than maybe Lynx, I'd miss out on personally. Same with, obviously, Silva. Llorente, it's the problem with him personally, because once he gets up into the higher rateds, because of his stats and how he plays, he isn't necessarily a right back. Everybody puts him at right back because he's normally pretty good there, but naturally as he gets into them 90s, his stats are good across the board, so you're going to end up bringing him back into that centre mid. So at this point, unless you are evoing him specifically for a right back, I'd probably say miss out on him as well. Trent, I would say, is slightly usable in the sense of his actual role. If you're using that role plus, which is a fullback, I would say you could still get away with him, but I would say he's very much on the cusp of just not really there anymore. Guerrero, it's kind of more of a centre mid. I'd probably miss out on him as well. Same as this Grimaldo. I'd say you've got to go for the one above him, obviously. It's a Team of the Year. And then we kind of go through the Zambrottas, the Turams, the Carfus, Zanettis. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Zanetti personally. Zambrotta, on the other hand, he's obviously coming in quite cheap now. Well, I mean, I suppose cheap. He's still 300k. Still a very good right back that you could get on board with. He has got the ability now to potentially go into some of the Evos as well. Whether you'd want to wait for the double, which is normally my kind of preference whenever we've got a single playstyle plus. Because at some point we get the double. Whether we get the double playstyle plus that say a 90 overall, but gets just one playstyle plus on him. So for instance, say we pick Zambrotta, we've got a specific playstyle plus, it gives you the Anticipate, but it gives you no overall stats upgrades. Maybe it does give you one overall, so you've got to be a max of 89 and it gets you to 90, but it's no upgrades on the stats, it's just an extra playstyle. That is what I'm kind of hoping for him. So if we do get that and it's say max 88, if we put him to this 89 for the sake of a couple of stats, we're going to miss out on that. So I would suggest waiting until we get the double playstyle plus. There's plenty of Evos. They are going crazy this year for Evos. So I wouldn't say he's one to be squandered, because I do think he's still very, very usable in this game. When we look at Thuram, I've been impressed with him. I've obviously put him into his 90 now. You obviously had that iconic rise. And I just went with a card that I was already using. We could have gone with Bale, but he was kind of out the team already thanks to the team of the years in Mbappe, whereas Thuram was in there and you could put him into the iconic rise, which is similar. I mean, obviously the Thunderstruck is going to be slightly better, but you still get some upgrade on him, so at least as a 90, he kind of comes into that topper category. Then kind of looking at the 90, I'd say the 90 is still absolutely up there. I think when you look at kind of the icons at this point, I think it's kind of your Carfus, your Albertos that are obviously coming under an incredible amount. Roberto Carlos is probably another one as well. He's one that I never really kind of got on board with massively. Like stats-wise, 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot. I think that is pretty weak for a left back anyway. 2-star on the weak foot's not good enough. He does have the better version now, but even so, we're still looking at 725. He's got the dead ball plus, which is good for him as a free kick taker, fantastic. As a defensive playstyle plus, not as much. And they gave him the whipped pass for obviously the other one. If you're using attacking wing backs, then he's going to be one of the better ones you could use. But I've never really fancied a massive defensive ability from him. So I would look at the 90 in the very usable. I'd still say Carfu and Alberto are absolutely up there. I'd say Roberto Carlos's Team of the Year version does definitely put himself there. I personally would miss Zanetti now. I don't think he's absolutely anything. When we look across the board, Alaba needs an Evo at this point. Mycon's still absolutely up there. I'd say his other version as well is incredible as always. Lizarazu, I'd say he was definitely up in the top meta. I'd bring him down one more now. I'd say Evo. I do like this card. I think potentially Evo soon, but I'd say he's still very, very usable for a free card. Evo, Molina, I'd probably miss out on now. Tagliafico, or could we use them? I mean, I'm being very harsh for the Globetrotter. No, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say miss out on him as well. Bonpastor definitely needs an Evo. We saw with her and Lizarazu in the final ends of the game in the footies, they are incredible on their upgrades. Estepina upgrade and he is absolutely brilliant still. Navas is still semi-usable. Brighton's left back would go into there. Kimmich I'd miss out on massively. His flashback is so much better. We then have Nuno Mendes. I'd go still usable. Alex Scott, I'd probably go more Evo. Beasley's still definitely usable, still a fantastic card. Cole will go there as well. Gusto was an unfortunate one. As much as I love a fullback plus, he is an attacking wing back, but the rapid, I need a defensive play style on him personally. Lavelli, I really didn't like. I know in the last left back, right back I did. A lot of people really liked her. I just don't think the card really works for me. It's just not my personal play style, if I'm being honest. Pedro Porro, I'd still say very usable with Rolfo. Batcher would go, I'd say after seeing Rolfo, I'd probably drop her down one more. Carlos Alberto's upgrade, outrageous. As much as I love his CDM version, I think that is, if you've used either of them, I do prefer the CDM version. In that role, it's just brilliant to have such a defensive mid, but with a little bit of a twist of having that midfielder prowess. Whereas the centre-back that goes right back, 100%. Gossens, hard to get, very, very hard to get. I must admit, he's still, if you've got him, he's still very good. Kachawi, yes, Kachawi. Obviously, Koyunde needs a bit of an upgrade now. Lam, he's like Zanetti. Like, he's not a bad... you know what? I'm being really harsh on them. They're not bad cards. They're just not my personal fullback. Yes, Olga was decent. Olga was actually really good. Frimpong, I'm really not liking Frimpong this year. Granted, I don't have the team to really build him around. He seems to have been very capable of being got in the Team of the Year grind. Obviously, we had the 82 times 20, which meant loads of people were opening up. But he's very good. Like, he's a lovely right back, but there's so many better options. I would have loved to have put him into that top meta, but it just isn't. Militao's upgrade definitely is. Danilo as a right back, more so than a centre back, works. Same with Hato. I've got him again, so we put him next to each other. I thought I had him in there. We then have Yan Kuto. Good upgrade for him, to be honest. I'd go in a usable sense. Miguel would do the exact same. McManaman, I got, because I don't think I included him in the last one, thinking that he was a right back. Everybody raved about him, and I must admit, very good. I really did like the card. I know a lot of people were kind of shocked that he won in there, but I always thought that he was a right back. I didn't even know he had that right back version, right mid. I didn't know he had a second version that put him at right back, and he was brilliant. Very, very nice card. Bradley could do with the upgrade. We then have Gwyn. I mean, Gwyn is the most packable Team of the Year honourable mentions you have possibly got. She's very clutching on usable at this point, but it's mainly because Bradley will be able to get into an Evo at some point soon. 89s will probably be a few more weeks yet. Anton going in there. Dumfries will do the same. Balde is outrageous. If you've used Balde before, you know how good this card is. Left backs are just brilliant, and he is just one of them. Can play both sides as well, which is always nice. Love the versatility from him. The Anticipate works really well with the patch, and is just brilliant. We then have Boy, obviously, going in there. I think Kamenvinga, wherever you put him, is going to be in that number one. Caldrado, couldn't get on with him at all. As good as a rating he is, just wasn't the one for me. And then we have got DeMarco, we have Carfu's Team of the Year, obviously, Walker, obviously, and then we also have Cancelo. I'd probably go with them two, just going up. And that will be the list of the fullbacks. Let me know what you think. Who have you got? What do you reckon? Peace.